Hello, my name is Jacob Hoeft, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. First off, a little about my background. I grew up on a farm outside of Bloomington, Illinois, and on our farm we use all Case IH equipment. So that was my first experience with anything technical or mechanical. Was working on the tractors on our family farm. Also on our farm, we have about 20 head of cattle, along with about 600 acres of tillable acres for grain. Alright, here we have my 2000 Mercury Grand Marquis. Had this car since about January. Bought it off my brother-in-law. I had an Impala before that, but it was a rust bucket, so I had to switch around, get something a little more reliable. It's got a lot of cool key features here. Don't have a clicker, so I have to use this nice keypad to get in, unlock the doors, pop the trunk, lock the doors, all sorts of good stuff. One of the great things about these Grand Marquis is they have exceptional trunk space in them. Here you got this nice large cargo area. It's pretty deep. I'm not sure on the actual cubic feet of it, but I can assure you can fit at least 12 bags of seed corn in here. Tested it out myself. One of the great features about this car is the luxurious fake wood interior here. You got the gold printed Mercury Grand Marquis LS badge right there. Really adds a nice touch of class to it. You know, both door cards have a nice piece of wood on them all the way around. Really exceptional in terms of quality and engineering. Then it's got this 4.6 liter V8, silent as a church mouse. Really, you know, no issues at all there with noise or complaints. These nice bright green gauges with that mechanical odometer reading right under 150,000 miles. You know, really just breaking her in at this point. But as you can see, no lights on the dash. She runs pretty good for a 20-year-old car. Moving on to a little different areas. Sports teams, you know, Dallas Cowboys, America's team. How could you not be a fan of them? And of course, St. Louis Cardinals. You know, pride of the Midwest. Pride of St. Louis. Go Birds, baby. Moving from sports and on to music. As you can see from just a couple records I pulled out, pretty big classic country fan. You know, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Paycheck, Glenn Campbell, pretty classic stuff there. Also a pretty big Jimi Hendrix, Otis Redding fan, along with good old Allman Brothers and a little bit of Grateful Dead, can't do wrong. A little bit about my automotive background. This is the first shop I ever worked at, Carlac Auto Service Center. It's located in Carlac, Illinois. I was hired there when I was 16 to come in after hours, clean the shop up, do tires, some oil changes, pretty basic mechanical stuff. After about a year and a half of working there, over one of the summers in between my junior and senior year, I worked full time. Learned a little more, did a little more in depth, some parts splicing of higher levels. Did some transmissions, did an engine. Brakes, steering, suspension, AC work. Really just pretty basic mechanical independent shop things. They also worked on a lot of lawnmowers and tractors, hydraulic equipment, grain trucks, semis, pretty much anything with a motor and wheels on it. Maybe not even wheels. Anything with a motor, we worked on there. Just a small farm town, independent shop. Really learned a lot, really enjoyed the job. Last summer, between my freshman and sophomore year of college, I worked at Maxlider Motors. It is a custom Bronco shop. They do 90% of the trucks they do are first gen Broncos, but they do some second gens, and they do a little bit with the new Ford Rangers, but yeah, mostly first gen Broncos. A lot of lift kits, a lot of soft tops, stuff like that. Outside of automotive, I have a few other hobbies. This is our old radio cabinet. I bought it at a estate sale and refinished it. It was in pretty rough shape before I got it. So I, hit it with some light sandpaper, cleaned it up, stained it, and I'm using it as a TV entertainment center right now. As you can see the old radio face there, I just thought that looked really nice and thought it looked good, cleaned up, and put back into use. At the same time I restored that radio cabinet, I also did this wooden box. It still looks pretty rough right now, but it was actually had about 9 coats of paint on it I had to take off to get down to bare wood. So it took quite a while to get it cleaned up and down and stained. Took all the old, these are original latches and handles, so I took those off and repainted them and fixed it up. And currently I'm using it for just little extra storage. You can see the inside is not quite as cleaned up as the outside, but it took quite a while to get it all cleaned up. So that's a little bit about myself and my interests and my hobbies, and looking forward to having a great school year this year.